actually in the screen?
Yep, you're right in the bullseye middle. And it's recording. I don't like.
Why?
Because you're not smiling or anything.
Well, I'm not ready to shoot yet. Hey everyone, FG back again. I know it's been a minute or two. Had a lot of stuff going on, so I haven't posted any videos lately, but getting back to it here, and definitely going to start rolling again. So you're probably looking at all of this and going, oh my gosh, what in the world is all of that mess? Okay, so let me give you a quick rundown. As you remember from before, here's the battery pack that I built, lead acid batteries. That was part one. Let me see if I can quick pan out to the window here. Yep, there you go. You see those guys out there on the lawn? And quick pan back over here. So those are two Renogy solar panels, supposed to be producing 100 watts apiece, maximum rating. This is a Victron Energy. This is the MPPT 100/30, which means maximum 100 volts DC input from the solar panels at a maximum of 30 amperes. Come back over here. You saw this guy before. That's the Duracell 800 watt inverter. Come back over here. You saw the battery unit before. No big deal. And let me pan over to here. Now here's where it's pretty cool. So hopefully I can hold this steady, not bounce around here. And you'll see the power output here. This is the Victron app for Smart Solar. So right now, let me pan over here. I've got two of the gaming laptops, MSI brand, for work actually. This is for my not my company, the company I work for. Let me state that correctly. It's not my company. So these two are actually plugged in right now and are charging off the Duracell unit, which is then being fed, of course, ultimately by the Victron through the batteries. Over to here, you can see the batteries are charging up. Let me move over, give you a view there. Yep, you can see the voltage is rising. And if you come back over here, take a look. Looks like we're getting a little bit of cloud there. It dropped to 75 watts, 72. Yep, okay, we're getting a little bit of a drop off there. You can see we're getting about 18 point something there volts at around 2.8, 2.9 amperes input. And the battery voltage is then coming out at 13, looks like 13.3, 13.4. It's in charge mode. Let me see if I can scroll that up, hopefully without blowing it up. There we go. Okay. And it's pushing 4.8 amperes, and it's in absorption mode right now. The Victron can do three things. Bulk is when the battery's really depleted, and it will push whatever the battery can accept without overheating or excuse me, overstressing the battery pack, which it keeps a constant watch on. Then it goes to absorption mode, and when it drops into absorption mode, it's lowering the amperes that it's delivering, but still delivering voltage at a reasonable rate. And when it's completed with that, then it switches over to float, which if any of you have battery chargers for vehicles that don't get used very often, float is just basically just maintaining the voltage. Batteries do self-discharge slightly even when they have no loads attached, and so float just keeps that little bit that's disappearing from running the battery down any further. All right, and I'll be back in a minute to show you some other parts. Until then. So a little bit of additional info here for the video. Solar electricity uses some unique connectors. They're a little bit different actually than anything that I've ever seen, and unless you work in the solar industry, you've probably never seen them either, honestly. So I've got the camera on a tripod here, so I'm going to try to put the hardware in front of the camera, and hopefully it shows up okay here. All right, here we go. You give that a minute. Hopefully it'll focus. Here we are. Okay, I'm going to rotate that slowly for you. All right, so that is the male connector end. So this is a Y or a T fitting, I guess you could call it. I'm going to give it a twist here. And here's the double female end. So these connectors are plug and play. You don't have to do any splicing or anything like that, which is really nice. They come with usually a pretty heavy cable, usually a number 14 or a 12, so they can carry some pretty good amperage. And let me show you. I'm going to turn this way. You can see the locking pins. So let me bring this. Hopefully I can do this. Bring this tool into view. And what happens here is this tool fits around this. Oh, brother. Okay, let me see if I can. Bouncing all over the place here. Apologies for that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I had a little bit of a wrestling match, so I just edited that little piece out that was dead air out of the video. Let me see if I can rotate this here for you so you can see it. I tried to get a fairly neutral background. So this is a specialized tool that's made for taking these apart. Let me tell you, you will wrestle for a long time and probably break it if you don't have one of these. And they're cheap. They're made out of plastic. If I can rotate that around. So there's 2 pins here. Let me see if I can, 1 and 2, right? So it squeezes both simultaneously so that you can unlock it. If you try to do this with a screwdriver, it's going to be pretty much an exercise in futility. Unless you're really well coordinated and you can work 2 screwdrivers at once. And I will tell you, the locking pins, they do take a little bit of force. They're not real easy to disconnect because they don't want these things, of course, popping apart, without being desired to be popped apart. So let me see if I can rotate this view here while keeping it in a camera. Yeah, let me just do that right there. There we go. Act like an axle. So you can see where those 2 prongs, the teeth go from the tool through this cutout. Let me see if I can rotate that around. Yeah, there we go. You can see the end there. So the locking pins go in here and here when you insert the male part. Obviously the connection to the metal inside there for the actual electrical connector. And then of course that metal piece goes all the way through here and is joined inside the body. So I just bought these because it was very convenient to be able to tie the panels together that way without any splicing or anything like that. I mean, you could do it manually, but it'd be a lot of work. Then you got soldering, you got tape. These are easy. These are IP67 water resistant. However, if you're doing this as a more permanent type of outside installation, I would recommend, you see where these pockets are? I would recommend filling those pockets with what's called dielectric grease. If you're not real familiar with electrical machinery, maybe sensors and ignition systems, automobile and truck, et cetera, et cetera. Go to your auto parts store. They do have dielectric grease in tubes, and that's specifically what it's made for, especially to keep water and corrosion away from your electrical connectors. So I would strongly recommend to dielectric these. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and rotate that through again, show you that view. Come around here like this, and then I'm just going to pop that tool loose, and you see where it fitted right into here and just comes off. And that's it for this part of the video.